Welcome to the Kellett Travel Show. I'm Chris. On this week's show, we visit Beijing, China's bustling capital, to see if a large group of children can see all there is to see on a 5-day whistle-stop tour. Over to you, Ella.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, indeed. If you think travelling with a family group is enough of a headache, try going on a school trip to a different country with over 120 students. Well, that's what our reporters did this week. Let's see how they got on.
The Grand Mercure is a 4-star hotel located in central Beijing. The service is extremely good and the food is delicious. It provides a buffet breakfast that includes waffles, eggs, pancakes, muffins, bacon, fruit and fresh juice, and much more. You can pack a healthy lunch in your own Grand Mercure lunchbox. For dinner you can have a scrumptious buffet that has dessert. The local restaurants have a tasty selection of healthy Chinese foods, and for dessert, you can get a plate of juicy sliced watermelon. It is an extraordinary experience to try new foods that you have never heard of before, including Peking duck. Here are the wonders of the last surviving Hutong district. Many people come because it is the one out of 36 left. It is located behind Black Lake. There is no better way to see the Hutongs than travelling on a rickshaw through the narrow alleyways. An extraordinary experience and a great way to see the old traditional way of life alongside to the modern high-rise building. A number of courtyard houses can be visited in the district. This particular example has been lived by the same family for over 4 generations. 3 generations currently live in it. The grandparents live in the best house facing the north to enjoy the best living conditions. Depending on the traffic, it is approximately 30 to 45 minutes from the Grand Mercure Hotel.
Located at the center of Beijing is the enormous Tiananmen Square. It is the largest public square in the world, and it is one of the most seeable sights on any visit to the Chinese capital.
Chairman Mao's mausoleum covers a large part of the square, and long queues of people wait patiently to see his body lying in state.
The monument to the People's Heroes, a granite building in the center of Tiananmen Square, was completed in 1958 and built to commemorate the People's Heroes in modern Chinese history. It was in fact the largest Chinese monument.
Did you know that the Temple of Heaven is occupying an area of 2,700,000 square meters, which is almost 4 times larger than the Forbidden City?
Also, the Temple of Heaven was built in the reign of the Ming Dynasty in the 1420s.
And surprisingly, the heavenly temple was struck by lightning and burned to the ground. It was only in the early 1900s.
The people believed that the number 9 was a sacred number, so they always built 9 steps. And the altar of the Temple of Heaven was believed to be the closest connection to heaven.
So the emperor went there once or twice a year. The Temple of Heaven is about 40-45 minutes from the Grand Mercure Hotel.
When you go to Beijing, be sure to book the Grand Mercure Hotel. It's the best.
This is the one and only Forbidden City, known for its beautiful architecture and for the people who live there. The Forbidden City was built from 1406 to 1420 for Emperor Qin at the start, but later was used for the many great emperors and empresses of China. 9,999 rooms take up the inside of the Forbidden City, which are used for many different reasons.
Forced by Chairman Mao, Pu Yi, the last emperor of China, had left the throne. This happened in 1912, but 13 years later the Forbidden City was opened in 1925 as a museum for many people and tourists.
Many tourists enjoyed looking at the many mythical creatures, such as chillins, dragon-headed turtles, and bull Chinese lions. There are also bronze cauldrons that used to have water in them just in case of a fire, because most of the Forbidden City is made out of wood.
Visiting the Great Wall can take up to 3 hours from the Grand Mercure Hotel, depending on the traffic. But the long journey is worth the wait. It was built by hand. It was a punishment to build the Great Wall. They didn't care about health and safety. People were not buried when they died on the Great Wall. Their bodies were put in the foundations. The builders of the Great Wall made it steep but possible to walk on.
So there we have it. 5 days in Beijing and all the historical sites visited, and everybody returned safe and sound. Many thanks to our intrepid travellers and all those that assisted them. Next week, our PE team will report from the Indonesian capital of Jakarta. But until then, it's good night from me.